What's this? A letter for me.
Welcome to another episode of Remember the Great Sports Through the Mail Thursdays. Today I'm going to open up 3 envelopes and share you some recent through the mail autograph returns and give you some profiles of some of the players that I got back. So let me just jump right into this, and the first return is from former St. Louis Cardinals pitcher Ray Soff on 1/87 Topps, 87 Donruss, an 87 Fleer, and not to mention the 87 Topps Cardinals Leaders card featuring him. A lot of people may not realize that's him on the card. That is definitely him. And you can see where he signed it really little. He's got a really small signature, because his name's only 7 letters total, so he can squeeze it in quite a bit there. Be nice if I could get Mike LaValliere to sign that, and of course Ozzie Smith is the other one pictured there, which I guess technically you could get Ozzie to sign that, but honestly, if I were to see Ozzie, I'd probably pick something else to get signed. But maybe if I had LaValliere, maybe I'd think differently. But let me tell you a little bit about Ray Soff. Ray Soff grew up in Michigan, attended high school in Michigan, and also played college baseball at Central Michigan University. He was drafted in the 11th round in the 1979 draft by the Chicago Cubs. After signing with the Cubs, he spent 1979 through 1984 with the Chicago Cubs minor league affiliates, making his way up to Double-A as a pitcher. After the 84 season, he was released by the Cubs right before the 85 season, and he signed a minor league deal with the St. Louis Cardinals. He spent a couple years with the Cardinals in the minor leagues. He spent 1 year in Double-A for the Cardinals. Then the following year in 86, he split time between Double-A and Triple-A, and the Cardinals called him up in 1986, where he appeared in 30 games for the St. Louis Cardinals that year, scoring a 4 wins and 2 loss record in those 30 games. Well, in 87, he was sent back down to the minors, to Triple-A. He did struggle a little bit that year in 87, only appearing in 12 games with an ERA close to 6.5 for the Cardinals at the Major League club. He would finish the year out with the Triple-A affiliate, and after the 87 season, this would actually mark the last time Soff would pitch in the major leagues. After his time with St. Louis, he would sign a minor league deal with the Minnesota Twins, who ironically defeated the Cardinals in the 87 World Series the year before, his teammates, and he would spend the 88 season in their Triple-A affiliate not getting called up. The following year, he would play with both the Twins and the Mets minor league affiliates. He would then spend 1990 and 1991 playing for the Mets Triple-A affiliate, again, not getting a call up to the majors. And then finally in 1992, he would again spend the entire season in Triple-A with the California Angels. And after not seeing a chance at the majors since 1987, at 33 years old, Ray Soff retired from baseball. So he had a very short stint in the major leagues overall, and this basically sums up the year that he was up, with his 87 cards here. And he doesn't have a lot of cards out there. However, they are pretty available. These cards aren't that expensive to find, especially the Topps versions, especially this Leaders card. I just find it ironic, and comment down below if you agree with me. I always find it funny that the Leaders cards that Topps put out back in the 80s, whether it was like a group shot or a single player, it would not necessarily be the team leader of something. I mean, Ray Soff was like the guy that was one of the relief pitchers in the bullpen. He was far from one of the team leaders. I mean, he wasn't the pitching leader, he wasn't the hitting leader, and Mike LaValliere's like the backup catcher. So I just don't understand sometimes the selection that Topps used for those cards. Let me know what you think about that as well down at the bottom. So moving on to the next one. So as you know, this is kind of a theme we got going here. I wrote a lot of former Cardinals this time, And the next one is Scott Terry, postmarked from Missouri, on 1, 2, 3, and 4. And Scott Terry actually started out with the Reds, and I'll tell you a little bit about his career right now. So Scott Terry went to college at Southwestern University in Texas, and he was drafted in the 1980 draft in the 12th round by the Reds. Terry played from 1980 to 86 with the Reds, minor league affiliates, and he made his major league debut on April 9th, 1986 for the Cincinnati Reds. He spent the 86 season with the Reds. However, after the 86 season, he was sent back to AAA and started the 87 season in AAA for the Reds affiliate. He spent all but through September of the 1987 season in AAA for the Reds, and that's when he was sent to the St. Louis Cardinals as the player to be named later to pitch for the Cardinals. He would appear for the Cardinals for the remainder of the season, appearing in 11 games that year. Well, 1988, he would start the year out in AAA. However, the Cardinals saw something in him, and they called him up after only 3 games in AAA, and he wound up appearing in 51 games in 1988 for the Cardinals, starting 11 of those, with a 9-6 record and an ERA of 2.92. Well, the following year in 89, he was given the chance to be a full-time starter. He started 24 games out of 31 that he appeared in. However, he finished with an 8 wins and 10 loss record that year. And going into 1990, he was moved back to the bullpen, where he appeared with the Cardinals in 50 games. Well, in 1991, he appeared in 65 games for the Cardinals, and after 1991, his stats actually end at that point. After the 91 season, he was granted free agency, and he, I would assume, got injured because there are no stats after the 91 season for Mr. Terry. So he never pitched again, I guess, in the minor leagues. I don't know personally what happened there. However, I do know after his playing career did end, he did stay affiliated with the Cardinals. And as far as I know, as of 2021, and again, the virus may have changed this, he was actually working for the Cardinals in kind of like a community outreach role. He would be the one that would put on what they call Cardinals clinics for youth baseball. And this would be like a clinic that would travel around to different cities in the St. Louis area and have like one-day camps or mini camps for people to go to. I actually had some nephews that attended this, and my father actually met Scott Terry and talked to him. So I've seen Scott Terry once or twice before in person. I've gotten him to sign for me in person before, but I decided to stick a couple in the mail just because I had a few more laying around. So thank you, Mr. Terry. I do appreciate it. All right, so finally, the last one I'm going to share with you is former St. Louis Cardinal Greg Mathews on 1, 89 tops 2, 90 score 3, and a 90 tops makes 4. And I actually have this minor league set, so I decided to stick it in the mail with some cheaper tops and scorecards here. These cards are pretty cheap to find, not the team set, but the other ones, as they're pretty common, run-of-the-mill commons out of those sets. So let me tell you about Greg Mathews. So Greg Mathews grew up in California. He attended Cal State University, or Cal State Fullerton, I should say. He was originally drafted by the Minnesota Twins, but chose not to sign, and instead signed with the St. Louis Cardinals out of Cal State Fullerton in 1984. Mathews, a left-handed pitcher, worked his way up through the Cardinals minor league system. In 1984 and 1985, he actually had a superb year, going 19-5 with a 1.79 ERA combined between single A and triple A. The following year in 86, he started out in triple A for the Cardinals, however got called up to the majors during the 86 season as a starter, where he started 23 games for the Cardinals in the 86 season. He went 11-8 overall with an ERA of 3.65 in his rookie year in the majors. Well, in 1987, he was given a starting role with the Cardinals. However, he split his record at 11 wins and 11 losses and actually was demoted for 3 games down to AAA that year, where he went 3-0. Well, in 1988, he was penciled in as a starter again for the Cardinals. However, he did struggle a little bit and was sent down for a 5-game stint down in AAA. In 1989, injuries shut him down for the year, where he only appeared in 1 game. Well, in 1990, he was on the comeback tour, so to speak, but at this point, a lot of his post-injuries had caught up to him in his pitching arm, and he was very ineffective in both stints in AA and AAA. And in 1990 in St. Louis, he appeared in 11 games and went 0-5 that year for the Cardinals. Well, 1991, he found himself not pitching for the Cardinals anymore, but yet in the Milwaukee Brewers minor league system. The Brewers never called him up that year. However, in 1992, he signed a contract to play with the Phillies and signed with the Phillies and spent time in their AAA affiliate. However, did get a second shot at the majors, appearing for the Phillies in 7 games and 1 that he started. Well, with the Phillies, he went 2-3 with a 5.16 ERA. That was it for Mr. Mathews after that season. He was a very effective pitcher very early on in his career, and when he had his arm injury, he just could not bounce back from those injuries. Well, post-playing career, I know that he remained in the St. Louis area. He was actually a pitching coach for the now defunct River City Rascals, which was a independent minor league team in the Frontier League. He spent a season or 2 there. I can't remember how long he was there. And I meant to try to go to a game to get his autograph, and I just never could find the time to get there. And by the time I got around to really trying to go to more games in that league, he was no longer their pitching coach. So he spent some time in St. Louis for a while, but last check, he moved back to California, where he grew up and where he went to college. And from what I understand, he is running a baseball academy type school in California, and that's where I actually sent these cards for an autograph request. So he's no longer in St. Louis, but he's now running a baseball academy in California. So if you're a California native and you have somebody that plays youth baseball, you very well could have the opportunity to meet Mr. Mathews. So I want to thank everybody for joining me this episode. I want to thank Mr. Mathews for signing for me. I want to thank Mr. Soff for signing these Cardinal cards. And I also want to thank Mr. Terry. I had never gotten Mr. Terry or Mathews before, I've never gotten Ray Soff or Mr. Mathews before. I had, again, like I said, met Scott Terry before, but I didn't get a lot of cards signed. I got like a book signed and a ball. So thank you very much for joining me for another episode. Hope you enjoyed this. I look forward to your comments below. Thanks.